Meme coins, rug pulls, and scams. Talking about Ben.ETH, a notable crypto scammer that launched 4 different meme coins in the past year that he used to crowdfund over $20 million in Ethereum. This is Sasha with Arcanum Ventures, and today dive into the on-chain data and understand where this money went, what it was used for, and what individuals that gave him the money ended up with. We'll also wrap it up with a word of caution around meme coins and what you can expect if you buy any more tokens this individual might launch on the market. Let's dive in. For those of you that are unfamiliar, Ben.ETH is a somewhat notable figure in the meme coin world. In crypto, he came to prominence after the first meme coin launch, Ben, which some people say was launched in collaboration with Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto. He then followed that up and leveraged his popularity with another meme coin called PYSOP and then another one called Loyal, which he collectively raised over $20 million in Ethereum from, crowdsourcing. And the thing that was controversial here is that he provided in return very, very little value to these people that gave him this money. In fact, they received far fewer tokens than anticipated, and the value backing of those tokens was far less than what was hoped for because he initially only took a very small amount of that cash he took in to provide liquidity after launching the tokens. And so this is the controversial thing about Ben.ETH is that he's repeatedly launched a number of meme coins where he will crowdfund millions of dollars for and then give back very little in return. Unfortunately, people seem to be falling for this same trick on his latest token that just launched yesterday called BEG. We're going to dive into the on-chain data and see what we could find around the cash flow, what happened to this Ether, what was it used for, and what you can expect from purchasing another meme coin that this individual might launch. Let's dive in. So I would like to highlight CoinMarketCap first and foremost. This is the PSYOP token price chart, the entire token price history. As you can see, it's not doing so well. But more interestingly, the market cap is denoted as $162 million with a fully diluted market cap of $201. Let's go over to DEX Tools and see what we can find here. So I've got DEX Tools open, and I want to just show something to everybody that might be watching. The PSYOP liquidity across all of the different LPs, $134,000, $28,000, $256,000, $1,400, and the token price is very low. So altogether, we're talking about maybe $400,000 in liquidity for this token. A market cap of $160 million with liquidity at a fraction of a percent. I think, less than 0.5%. So that means that any one of these token holders that has the PSYOP token, they cannot get a whole lot of value out of that token. Let's say someone might be holding what seems like $1 million of that token. If they go and sell that token into the LPs, they're going to get far, far less than that $1 million because the price impact will be so huge. And so if anyone holding the PSYOP token decides to sell all at once, they're going to drive the price even lower into nothing and drain this liquidity. This is a characteristic of meme coins, and it's one of the funny things that we discovered after doing some research on meme coins and trying to understand the psychological market effects. When you think about a meme coin, what is promised? What is usually backing a value of a cryptocurrency associated with a company? Most of the times it's the fundamentals of that company. You think about what is this company doing? What is the product they're building or the services they're offering? And how does that value come back to the asset and the asset holders? In this case, and in the case of many, many meme coins, where you see things like, for example, on Pepe, their roadmap is to make meme coins great again and then launch sweaters or something. There's really nothing being promised. And so the only value that backs the meme coin, whether it's real value or speculative value, is what's available in the liquidity pool. And so this is a metric that we came up with at Arcanum Ventures, the liquidity to market cap ratio. Obviously, a far lower LMC is going to mean that there is a lot of speculation around this token, and it's a very, very risky venture. Here we've got close to $400,000 in liquidity against a $160 million market cap, meaning that the value of that entire token supply is near worthless if anyone decides to dump or liquidate. And so this is something important to understand when looking at meme coins. And going back to the PYSOP chart, I just want to highlight, there's a lot of volatility in this token, and this might be because of different sort of speculative marketing campaigns that Ben.ETH kind of executed in trying to tweet and create hype behind this token using his Twitter account. We're seeing something very similar with the new token here. So I'm kind of seeing the same trend here with the new token BEG, and it seems like, same old trick, different day. We've got 2,000 token holders. We've got close to 8,000 total transfers, and this is over the time span of, I think, 24 hours since this token launched. But what I want to do is just kind of highlight what we've seen from Ben.ETH before a number of times. So we've got a lot of different transfers happening of this token. Every few seconds, there's tokens going back and forth between the Uniswap V2 LP, tokens going back and forth between the Ben.ETH address. But let's go back to the beginning, and this is one of the fun things you could do in Etherscan is try and follow the breadcrumb trail all the way back to the beginning. So we've got the minting of this initial token, and it looks like the Ethereum null address minted 394,000 tokens into this wallet. And then later also minted 131,000 tokens into this wallet. And this looks like it was the wallet that provided liquidity for the Uniswap LP. One thing I want to highlight here. So look at this actual wallet address, 0xBE6BE6. Some people claim this is a play on the token ticker BEG, right? And if you look over here on the method, this should say liquidity provisioning or add liquidity, but it says start begging. And so this is another word of caution around meme coins, specifically Ben.ETH. I've been in this industry for quite a while now, and I've been analyzing on-chain data for a while. I've never seen this sort of functionality on-chain. I did not know that you can create your own wallet address and with a string of characters that you designate, or that you could change the transaction method to show up on-chain to something of your choosing. This just goes to show that this individual is very, very highly capable of operating on-chain. He understands how to manipulate liquidity pools. He understands how to create scenarios where he has the most to gain. So when you're operating or buying any sort of transaction or tokens from this individual, you really need to know what you're getting into. But let's dive into this start begging transaction here. And one of the things I want to highlight, so we can see the specifics around the liquidity provisioning. We've got 131,000 tokens being added to the BEG LP for $400,000, roughly $400,000. And this is something that we've seen in both the PYSOP token and the Loyal token. Again, Ben.ETH raised over $20 million in Ethereum for crowdfunding and launching these tokens, but in both cases, he added $200,000 to $300,000 worth of wrapped Ether to the LPs. So where did that money go, right? He has so much Ethereum just sitting around or being transferred to other places, but he's definitely not giving it back to the people that gave him that cash. In fact, if you look at the BEG, I believe, let me just take this this token contract address and see how much liquidity is here. So we've got DEX tools up again. I've got the BEG token here. That might, I don't know who that is. It looks like Ben Armstrong maybe. $1.1 million in liquidity in the LP. And so let me just highlight, Ben.ETH put $400,000 worth of Ethereum into the LP as the value backing for those tokens. It's now up to 1.1 million. I'm confident if we look deeper into the transaction history for the BEG token, we're not going to see any more liquidity provisioning transactions. which means that close to $700,000 was added into this LP by people that were buying the token around speculation of the token. And this is the same sort of playbook we've seen Ben.ETH use in both Loyal and PYSOP. He adds a little bit of liquidity, and then he gives the impression that there's a lot of volume by hyping and creating speculation and people buying in and providing liquidity. And that gives the impression to others that hold the token or received it that they can take a gain because they can sell into the LP. But the value they're getting is coming from other people. It's not the money they gave Ben. So Ben.ETH is walking away with a ridiculous amount of cash. How much cash, you might ask? Well, we're going to dive into that now. So I've got my Ben.ETH wallet analytics dashboard up. The funny thing about Ben.ETH wallet address is that there's over 250,000 transactions in this wallet. And, you know, at first glance, I think I mentioned it on a live stream, it seems stupid, it seems disorganized, but there might be a method to this chaos because it's very difficult to filter through all these transactions and try and analyze what's happening. You know, this guy, like I said, he seems to be a very, very adept at operating on chain. There must be a method to this madness. So what I've got here, though, is all of the Ethereum transactions going in and out of the Ben.ETH wallet address. I've got the Ethereum contract up here. I've got the Ben.ETH wallet address here, pulling up over 33,000 transactions, 370 sent from the target, 21,000, 22,000 received. And I've got a time span here. I think the PYSOP token was launched back in May, beginning of May. So I've got the entire time span from April 1st all the way to November. And you can see the volume of these Ethereum transactions. This corresponds with what we can expect. This first spike, close to 5,000 Ethereum transactions, both in and out, you know, that lines up with the timeline for the PYSOP token launch. And what happened is that Ben.ETH leveraged the crazy popularity, what happened around PYSOP, to launch Loyal, which saw over 10,000 individual transactions. And then the wallet went quiet for a little while, but you know, this is this little bump here. That's what we're seeing for the BEG token launch. And the funny thing is, there seems to be a lot less interest. So thankfully, people are understanding that this guy's a shyster. He provides very little in return for the investment that people give him. And a lot of the gains that people stand to get from receiving tokens from him comes from other people in an open market economy. If you look at the actual transaction volume, it kind of mirrors this very closely, but we do see a big spike here in Ethereum coming in or going out of the wallet. And so one thing we're going to do is try and dive a little bit deeper. We've got these visualizations here to help us understand what's happening. So overall, look at this. We've got $21 million of Ethereum deposits coming into the Ben.ETH wallet, deposits from other wallets, and then protocol or centralized exchange deposits close to 6.5 million. Whereas over this entire time span, he's got close to $14 million going out to other wallets, and then close to $5 million funneling funds out to other centralized exchanges and protocols. We've got the Ethereum holdings and the volume pictured here, and so you can see this initial bump was what we saw from the PYSOP token launch. He then leveraged that to raise over 12 million, I think like $12 million in Ethereum just for Loyal alone. So he reached over $20 million in crowdfunding Ethereum. And then look at this. Very little of that was used for value backing for the tokens. It doesn't look like, I mean, this Ethereum stayed in this wallet and maybe slowly was funneled out to different sources, but it sure as hell wasn't provided in the liquidity pool for people that received tokens. So that value that anyone took a gain from came from somewhere else. What we do see here, very strangely, is that big spike, I think, a massive drawdown, close to $7 million of Ethereum, maybe even on a single day, and it looks like July 18th. One of the funny things I saw, which I do want to highlight here, I saw this article from Cointelegraph. Could Ben.ETH PSYOP tokens face legal scrutiny? It depends, says a lawyer. So a class action lawsuit was sent to Ben.ETH, or whoever this individual is. I don't think it mentioned what his real name is, but it was around that same time, May 31st. This is new. So I don't know. Did Ben.ETH, did he send a bunch of Ethereum to a centralized exchange or some other protocol to pay for legal fees? It's very possible. But what we want to understand is, like, where did this funding go, and did it go to users? And so we've got a designated exchange or protocol addresses here, sorted by inbound ETH. We can go to outbound and see what's happening. And so we've got a lot of Ethereum over an activity timeline for these dates that we have here, going out to a number of different protocols. 1.6 million going to the wrapped Ethereum token contract address. And so this is a transaction type that can provide liquidity for an LP, but at the same time, it might be a way of converting tokens or converting Ethereum to wrapped Ether and then sending to a protocol. So it is an avenue that Ben.ETH could use to funnel funds out to a centralized exchange and buy a Lamborghini or something. We've got high volume addresses here, inbound and outbound. And so I'm going to change that around. We did find a wallet here, a number of individual wallets and tokens that were active during the Loyal and PSYOP token launch period, where a massive amount of funds were funneled out to. One of these wallets is actually the PSYOP Loyal.ETH wallet, which we believe is owned by Ben.ETH. And so there's a lot of cash flowing around and changing hands. But funny enough, I don't think any of that cash is going back to token holders. And in fact, I think token holders are being tided over with promises of airdrops of future tokens. For example, Ben.ETH mentioned if you hold Loyal and you're a loyal follower, you'll get some BEG tokens. Unfortunately, like we discussed before, the value behind the BEG tokens does not come from the money that Ben.ETH received. It comes from other people that aped in from speculation. So that's a real shame. So most likely going to create a follow-up video analyzing some more of these Ben.ETH transactions. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of money flowing in and out. And this individual is currently sitting with close to $8 or $9 million worth of Ethereum in this wallet. Doesn't look like it's moving much. He's just sitting and holding on this. And who knows, maybe he's going to be doing some shady things on chain to essentially launder that cash or that Ethereum through a future token launch, or maybe he's already doing that for the BEG token. Again, this is Sasha with Arcanum Ventures. I just want to highlight some of the dangers of buying some of these meme coins and operating in the same arena with people that know more than you and most likely will make you a financial victim with very little promises in return. So stay safe out there, know what you're buying, and do your own research. Sasha from Arcanum Ventures. If you guys like this content, make sure you give it a thumbs up or subscribe for more coming real soon. Ciao, y'all.